I'm going to do big picture overview about where files are, where they go. Then I'm going to lead into, okay, so now we know where stuff goes. Second part is how do we get it there? What's the process to get all the correct images into the correct places?
Perfect.
So,
do you want to grab a chair real quick?
So, the two drives that we care about. So if we were to come in here, we only care about two drives. So the computer starts up, and it doesn't matter what computer it is, whether it's a laptop, whether it's right here. Two drives are all we care about, and that is the Z drive. The Z drive is going to be where your template for Adobe Premiere exists. And so when
those purple things are templates?
Yep. So it says Adobe Premiere Project right here, and we can even, if we want to on this one, just can even cheat a little bit more and just make a little pocket right over there. So I'm gonna close you. Okay. So that's it for this. The Z drive literally is just to host the temporary files that Adobe needs when you're doing your editing, and it needs to host the template file. And that's all the Z drive is. It's just for Adobe.
So I should save it as a Premiere Pro project instead of a MP4 or
and we'll get to saving it because you don't even need to save the project. Because once we have all the photos, the project isn't necessary, and we'll get to that. But you won't need to, because yeah, you're not going to need at the end of the day one Adobe Project Premiere for every stock card. You just need to open this template, and we'll get there.
Gotcha.
I'll show you how. All right, so that's the Z drive. Woohoo! All right, we're done.
All right.
That was easy.
Yeah.
I got that.
All right, so the next one that we really care about then is the W drive. All right, it's the folders. So obviously this is all of the stock numbers that exist inside of here. And specifically what we care about, and I'm just going to go down to a folder that I know of, is this My Car example. Okay, so if I pull up Chrome right here and look, this is what it's going to look like on the iMacs for the staff. So
That's your rotating one that the salespeople will be showing their customer, right?
yep. So they're going to enter a stock number, and that stock number is going to exactly match verbatim with one of these folders. These folders are created by John's team automatically. So when a car comes in and it has to be processed by McCluskey, one of the automation features that John's team has put together is that it's going to create the folder. So the folder that you need, a vehicle's coming in through the garage doors, that folder has probably been there for several days or more because they've had it for a little while doing the cleanup. So by the time it gets here, that folder should be created.
So if a car gets checked in today, they give it a stock number, they park it out back to go through service. So do you get that from Viato?
Well, we get used from the stock book itself, which we maintain, and the new vehicles we get from Viato.
So, but if they enter it in today,
Well, if I'm gonna pause you just because, and I don't mean to be mean, but I'm gonna try and stop if I think that I can simplify and not add confusion. So you don't have to worry about where the folder is coming from. You guys don't have to worry about that. All you need to know is that if a folder is not there, I'm going to show you how to just make the folder. And if there are a lot of folders that aren't there, then you're going to call John and say, John, WTF, man, you're effing up my world. Why are the folders not being made? So I'm going to teach you who you need to yell at any given time today as well.
Because I was going to ask you, the car came in this morning, it's clean, hey, we want to get that on the lot now, take it straight over for photos. how long was that process from when it's stocked in to hitting?
It's,
Here.
for all practical purposes, it's immediate.
Okay.
So John, does it F up your world if they create a folder manually with the stock number?
That might
Okay.
cause an issue.
All right, because that would be the manual way to get it in there, but let's put that on the list of,
Calling. If there's no folders, we gotta make a phone call. So if there's no folders and we gotta make a phone call, what do we do with that file?
I really
Make a temporary folder, put it
I really
aside.
think
be
the
an issue.
folder, here's the deal. They cannot purchase a vehicle without, used vehicle without stocking it in to the stock book. That stock book is what creates the folder.
so something went, yeah, something's wrong with that folder.
Now, I've seen from my experience with dealer specialties, there could be wrong stock numbers placed on the cars.
I
And that
would,
might be true, but the stock number in the stock book program is, at least for the used vehicles, is put in by a McCluskey Chevrolet staff person.
it's pretty rare.
I've seen stock numbers get flipped with cars too.
Well, that's pretty rare.
It's rare, but I've seen it.
I will say in the last couple of years, I think we've had, well, I will tell you right now, there are 4 stock numbers that there's a discrepancy.
But if we come across one of that, call you.
Yeah, call me.
Okay.
So we've got our lovely, R9, the staff that are going to put in that folder number. So in this example, I'm just going to say my car example. And then hit OK. And then boom, everything shows up. And this whole thing right here, this app has basically a series of program instructions that says, okay, in the My Car Example folder, it knows that image 1 is just called 1.jpg. It knows that image 2 is 2, and all the way down. So this one has 17 photos, and the only photos that exist right now are the 20-degree shots in
Well,
this
that's the video
example.
darker than the photos.
Well, this was the first video that was shot on like a day that was like, hey, Keith wants a 360
Gotcha.
taken, and so
3 months ago.
yeah, so I feel confident we're going to get a better shot than this right here. But basically, like, so this says 17 over here, right? 17. I feel like I'm talking to my kid. I always try and tell him a number as many different ways as possible. I'm like, it's 17. It's 17. 17. Got it, bud? All right, that joke was not funny. Edit that one out, Joel. Good. All right. So, but we know that we need to take more photos than the 16 or 17 images that are just going to be automated from that 360 video. And so this program then is going to know that if it's 18, the image is labeled 18.jpg. That's all you have to do, and the program itself is going to make the 18th photo pop in here. So as long as this naming scheme is maintained right here, that's it. That's all you have to do. And I'll show you in a little bit how you can easily go into a folder, select them all, and rename them all quickly, so that way it's done. It's not going to be you're not going to have to go through the pain of like a right click, rename one.
Do we have to select the 18th from each car, or can that be defaulted to where it pulls the same 18?
So I would, when you are pushing all the images, I would just, until everything is named correctly, it will not impact going out to the website. It will not impact going to the My Car application. So the last thing you want to do is give everything its name, because then the application starts to say, okay, this needs to go with this photo here, this image here, etc. So your stock folder is also what I guess I would call just it's your dump folder. You know, it's going to start off as your junk drawer, and then we'll show you how to get that drawer organized every time. All right, so the W drive is where we want the final product to end up. And when it is named correctly and is in the correct folder, then you guys don't have to worry about it anymore. As long as it's named correctly and in the correct folder, then the application, the Swordfish team will recognize that and push it out to the My Car application, push it out to all the places that it needs to go to get to the websites.
And that comes from the U drive or the W drive then?
That here it comes from the W drive, which is
Okay.
just a network map to your folder
Very good.
that yeah doesn't have it. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
So if I understand correctly, whatever the folders is, there could be 2,000 of them in there. They'll sit there dominant forever and a day unless we actually go in and label it correctly.
Yes, if it doesn't have the right naming scheme, then the program isn't going to display the images. It's only going to recognize it when the files are named
Okay.
correctly.
All right.
Okay. So, we know where stuff is and where it needs to go. The only files we care about are the Z drive and the W drive. That's it. The Z drive is going to be where our Adobe stuff is at, and the W drive is where our final images and videos are at.
Which drive are we capturing on them?
So in Adobe, the capture process will be set up to capture and edit on the Z drive,
Okay.
but really just using that template to go through the process of making our final product. And what we care about then is when we export from Adobe, we're exporting into the W drive.
Okay.
So Z to W.
Got it.
So when we export it, we will title it the exact name we have the folder named, right? Then it'll save it in that folder?
When you do the export, the first thing that's going to happen is it's just going to save all those
Right.
images. And when we do the 360, we'll see this here in a second, it's going to be like, a couple hundred images that are in there.
Right.
And then we'll go through a renaming process of those images, and then just all that's left then is the stuff that you need. So let's do an example. So we're gonna go and is this car have a stock number, and do we think it might be in the folder?
That would be on the keys.
All right, let's see if we got it. So there are going to be several hundred, if not 1,000 folders in here. You can just sort by name and go through it alphabetically, or I would probably just use the little search bar at the top right corner.
It's A93142 JA.
JA. Bam! We got it. John, 1 point for you.
All right. Yes.
Actually, you got 5 points yesterday.
All
All
right.
5 were in there.
Good,
That we
good.
did.
So I'm just going to double click on this folder so that way it's here. And let's go ahead and open up our Z drive. So I'm going to have this go away. And then I'm going to
What'd you
open
do
up.
that? What'd you do to make that split like that?
I have magic fingers. All right. So if you want to do this, you can just hit your Windows key and the left button, and it goes left. If you hit Windows and your right, it will auto size for you to the right.
Gotcha.
If you're feeling like doing a little dance with your file folders, you can shake it, and everything will disappear except that one folder. Shake it, shake it, shake it again, and it'll all come back. That's it. That's what I got.
Which template are you using?
I am just going to use the my card template right here.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Ready? And this, if I want to, I can go to the Z drive, or on the other computers we can put a shortcut just like this over here.
To pull up the mirror.
Yep.
Now, is that better than doing this one? Or what was that?
I did the same.
There's there's
Okay.
there's a bunch of ways, but ultimately you want to. This project was saved from the previous version. Okay, got it. All right. All right. So Adobe Premiere's up. I'm feeling good about myself. So far, so good. Had my coffee, had my smoke, had my water. And now the first thing I want to do then is capture the video. Are you excited?
Yeah.
So, keyboard shortcut for capturing Adobe is just F5. Or you can also do File, Capture. I recommend shortcuts as much as possible. It saves seconds and then minutes and hours for you. All right, so it is possible. Blackmagic Capture. Okay.
I didn't use a Blackmagic Capture because it's hooked to that card.
What's
I
that?
think you need to hit
The Blackmagic Capture is where the HDMI cable, I think, is running to.
Yeah, from this camera?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's on. There's a picture up there, too.
So why are you not showing? The last time this happened, there was a setting that I had to change. 5994. Yep. Uncompress the bit for 2. Yep. Go.
what was the setting you put on? 422.
I literally just jogged its memory this time. So, I went and selected it, but the last time it gave me the option to select options, it's not giving me that anymore.
You had to get the
But let's
Blackmagic
go ahead
device
and, alright, so I'm going to start over here, and hit F5, and this is what it should just pop up as. Again, you don't have to change any of these defaults because we don't care what it's called at this point, we just care about the video. Alright, and which two, okay. So I'm going to give this a little bit of lead time. I'm going to hit record.
Yesterday when we were
It
doing
kept
that,
pausing and stopping. I had to
Stop
keep
and-
stopping and recording, stopping and
Okay,
recording.
that might just mean that we're going to change where it is recording from the Z drive and move that somewhere.
I'm glad I did that.
C is like packed. There's like no room on C.
Yeah, see, that's why I wouldn't let the
ABC.
the media thing wouldn't work. Media Express wouldn't work because it was running out of space.
Isn't it lovely? So I just moved everything, instead of it going to the one to settings, Black Magic, options, capture device offline, PC load letter. What the hell? Okay. So, assuming that's recorded, that's how you resolve that issue.
I have a question for you. Is
Yeah.
there a certain area that we need to start the car each time to match up with what the photos are going to be pulled
Yeah, so
from?
one of the things that we're going to have to play with is what that location is, and I think that what we might have to do is just put some temporary like markers around here so we can get a sense of the timing and
We timed it yesterday. It's
About 51 seconds and some change.
but we can
but what's
slow it
the
down.
what is the
Video.
amount of time it needs to get up to full speed?
For rotation?
Yeah, because
Second.
what you want to do is
Second.
back it up that much, hit record, and then
Let
know,
the speed go, and then
and then you know what you got to clip off on the front automatically, or at least
What I did
relatively
was,
well.
just today was, I took that clip and in Premiere Pro, I slowed it down or changed the time frame of it so it could match up with the green screen clip.
Okay.
And then so after she finished talking, the car stopped and it was perfect. Like,
If you have a mechanism to do that and can make it so everybody knows and feels comfortable with that, then I would roll with it. Okay, so here we go, round 2.
It stopped again.
you got hit. That's what it was doing. I just hit stop and I pressed record again.
Okay, so that will be our marker right there. That could just be an error that's inside of Adobe.
I think that's,
just
We'll play with it more. Yeah, it's going. I can see the timer.
It stopped again.
man, you didn't do that on me. That's crazy.
Would there be a setting in Blackmagic that would affect that?
Or is it because we're losing space in the C drive?
I mean, if we
It's running
let me
light.
try one more thing here.
I didn't see the lines. No.
If you're far enough away, you can't really see it. Because I was sitting where Kristen was sitting, and y'all were playing one earlier, and I couldn't see it.
Then you got up close and good.
So it's like, it's hard to tell.
I never saw them before until yesterday.
Until yesterday. I know, me either. It's so weird.
Have you guys transferred everything from any of your other computers to someplace else that you would want?
No.
No. You gonna reset the whole Premiere Pro?
Well, I just want to open up
Just clean it up.
space on.
I started to do that, but I didn't know what to take out. So I was like, I'll leave that alone.
Still, we haven't done enough to really fill up any space
No.
to cause.
Yeah, well, all the users in the documents have a bunch of
and stuff.
files.
I mean, yesterday it was a red bar, and I had to clean some stuff out, and then it turned blue, but it didn't still give us a lot of space.
Yeah, I got some photos and stuff on the laptop I could get rid of.
And I'm not worried about
Just
the
practice
laptop.
videos.
I'm just trying to find out if it's having a hard time because of where it's recording, or if it's having a hard time because
Then you gotta move the screen over.
That sucks. And what did you hit to do that again, Jack?
Windows key and then
Arrow.
arrow, right?
Okay. Windows key and an arrow. All right. There it is.
Took 2 days to find that one out. And because we couldn't find it kept disappearing. I'm like, what? Google.
Is it recording now?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. Stops again. But it's saying something different now. It used to say something about 1,100
Just saying you
megabytes.
only had so much left. Or,
Mhm. Hmm.
Well, I'm glad it's doing it with him here. Too, so I didn't think we were going somewhere.
Do you have a file from like a raw? Well, let's open up one of those templates. Okay. So I'm gonna go back into the Z drive and open up Red Camaro.
These are ones we did yesterday.
Oh, Leslie up there.
That's one we just edited this morning that shows Leslie with the Kia Soul.
Import.
That one's 50 seconds we did with Leslie. We got it.
Save as what?
I'm just saving this as a copy so that way when I mess it up, I won't mess up your world.
What'd you put your code on?
Damn Windows.
You can use your scarf for your hand.
All right, so it's not because it's on a network drive. It's just because there's a configuration error between the capture device and, but I'm just gonna ignore that at this point. So this is a copyright here, so that's why I'm getting rid of this. So let's make the assumption then that we have taken our video, right? So we're there, yay, everything's working again. And even though this is not going to be
Oh, you got the eyeball off.
Yep. Perfect, we're also going to make an assumption that this is a full, make it 360, okay? So what would have happened is if this is working the file gets captured automatically, and it automatically gets inserted into your media folder over here. Okay, so then you're going to drag that and put it over here, and this should already be preset for the resolution, everything that you need. All right, so this one's important. We're going to go and we're going to say File, Export, and we're going to say Media. We can, at this point, just leave the title as it is, but we want to click, or no, sorry. We're going to go and we can skip all of this because what we want to do is go to the queue. What that does is opens up a different program called the Media Encoder. Yep, so I'll go through that one more time, but it's File, Export, Media. The shortcut is Control-M, so just like if you want to hit F5 to do your capture, you can literally go through here and just drag this over and do Control-M, and that's it. Those are your steps. So once it's captured, literally within about 15 seconds, you can start the export process. So we're going to give it a second and wait for the media encoder to finish opening up.
Is it behind?
Okay, so first thing is that we are now leaving the Z drive, which is where we do all of our editing, and we want this to land in the W drive, but more specifically in the W drive in the correct folder. So we're going to click on the name here and go into W.
Find the stock number.
Same thing, you can do a search.
We have that stock number for that vehicle if you want it.
Sure.
39314.
No, no, we're looking for the Compass from yesterday.
Just kidding. LOL. Okay.
Jack, I have a question for you.
Yep.
Where you're at.
Oh, the Compass, it's a, I think it's either R or G. Stick an R in there.
That's an R.
What does that folder say?
Right there.
R930279A.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like it to me.
Okay. I'm going to leave this as it says untitled 01-_1 because I don't want to give it the correct name yet. I'm not ready for it to go out. So I'm literally just great, dandy, looks wonderful. The second thing that I want to do, because I can do two things at once with Adobe Media Encoder, is take this, and while I create the video, I also want to create all of the images that I need to. So if I come down to users and presets, I can go and keep going down till I hit JPEG, and then I literally am going to take where it says JPEG sequence match source, and I'm just going to drag this up here. And we've got our JPEG, and then I'm going to Control C and Control V. Nope, not going to make me look good. All right, duplicate. So I did that a little bit backwards. I'm going to start over just so that way it makes sense. So I'm going to close here. I'm going to start back from here so I can do this logically, but Control M. Oops. Okay. Q. I wait. I make a funny joke. Make everybody laugh in the room. All right. So now I'm going to right click on Untitled. I'm going to hit Duplicate. And I'm going to put it into the right folder. So W, and it is R.
I got the number.
It's on top.
There we go.
93.
Hit save. I'm going to, this one, now I'm going to come down to my JPEG and grab it and just drop it there. And it's automatically going to change for me. All right. So, in one fell swoop, I'm going to make sure that this right here lands in the same folder. R and save. All right, and hit play. That's it. Another funny joke.
And it's recording into that folder.
Yep, and so what's great is that you can move this off to your other screen, because once it's in the media coder, it doesn't care about what's in here, and you can start to record.
So
The
play
next
records it
vehicle.
in the folder.
Yep.
That's what it gets.
So once you are here, then so it may end up being that your sequence for speed is that you actually get the vehicle in here, and the first thing you do is take all your still shots, because then those are in the folder, and the last thing you do is your 360 video, because then as soon as you do this, you can roll into your next car and kick, and at this point you can kick this out to somebody else. And it might even be that, or actually, as I kind of keep thinking about it, you're probably going to take it doesn't really matter the order, because the only thing you need to do at this station is capture the video, and once it's captured and that file is in the correct folder, then someone at a different station can open up the Premiere Pro project and start the editing process. So this station, you could literally just burn through
So
your
we probably just
360.
leave this set up here for our capture station.
Yeah, this is your capture station, and then so the sequence will just be the still photos, but you can burn through at this station your 360 videos. The only pause is getting your stills before you get the next vehicle. If that makes sense. Okay, so
How come there's two 360s?
at one point there was one with the blue light and one without the blue light for the Google Earth application. Was my understanding that we needed a second
Well, because
rotation.
the one up there would have the blue light,
Yep.
and the one for the Google application is at 5 feet 6 inches, not 8 feet 6 inches, and the blue light's off for this one, but it's
Yep.
not is that a video too?
Yeah.
So that's a video, even though it's a little handheld camera. Gotcha. Yep.
Unrelated question, is True Images?
And then is that how you do all the photos?
Yeah, so in this one swoop right here, we're going to go back into our W drive. I'm going to do a search for our folder.
That's the last I heard, but I wasn't sure
That they were out.
that it wasn't really inside. So what I'm hearing
Is True Images going to be part of this process or not?
He contacted me yesterday, waiting to hear back from these guys. So
and I
told
think
them I'd bring it up
they're
today.
looking for leadership.
Well, I mean, so it's a fee every month, but if the next black LTZ Suburban with camel interior was truly identical to the one that we did 11 days ago, and that saves doing all of this to that next car that's identical to it, then I'd say it's worth that.
Yeah, pretty too.
Now,
In the scheme of things, it's
Pretty,
not
yeah, yeah.
a whole lot of money.
But if we end up like, well, wait a minute, the one I drove had a luggage rack on it with a radio antenna, and the one in the picture doesn't. I mean, if it starts ending up being that we were compromising the integrity of my car and the vehicles on the website for what's really there, then I don't want to do it. But if it'll help us, not have to take this 15 or 20 minutes on 30 or 40% of our new cars. Every used car is uniquely different, so but all it would do is maybe eliminate, I would say it's well worth the fee.
and you, at one time, one argument I think I heard was, well, we still want to do a unique video for each new car.
But if a unique video got done there in the morning, and then this black LTZ Suburban really wasn't ever in the room, but Leslie that morning talked about this vehicle that, it's a different presentation.
Sure.
Then they would superimpose her in front of the same one, but she would be on the website with a different stock number because you can't tell it's not that car.
Okay.
So because we've got the green screen and we're not putting them from, and the other thing it could save us time on is a black LTZ goes through and the outside is done. The only thing different about this one is it's got a graphite interior instead of the camel that's already done. It might pull in and just quickly get the interior, and that's enough to piece it together and get it on out of here quickly to get another vehicle in. So it kind of, the true images thing shows you whether it's in the library of matching interiors or it's in the library of matching exteriors, and it reduces a lot of the work that you guys have to do. So I'd like to figure out a way to do it, but if it just is like too cumbersome and it's not worth it, and we kill it and we just got to run every new and used car through here.
Okay. Thank you.
So if we use them, I want to have Glenn come in one day to give us our best photo practices, so we're not getting any of the paint of the car in the photos. So you can match the interiors up to any exterior color. That makes sense? You can't have a little piece of black showing it that you're trying to put them into a red
car, yeah, sure.
Because you've worked with him in the past, right?
Yeah.
He knows this pretty well.
Yep.
So. How many of those light sticks do we have? 6. How many are those?
500 each.
Okay.
Part of it wants to delay the
You want
true
two back there?
images,
Well, no, I
just because we've got so much
Greg
other
could flip
stuff.
out
Another
this
part of me
110
says, well, shucks,
lighting on that left in the
we're
water.
getting ready to adjust a whole bunch of stuff.
Insanity.
I was trying to think of an alternative.
you gotta trim
We
into
come up with an answer so we can make that happen.
98% new cars.
Oh, it's 100%
Well,
new cars.
I would
It's
get
no-
Bruning.
So really, we need it in
Because Bruning knew it was going to get
reverse.
blasted with
We need
water
to
while
be able
He's
to
not
have
worried about the
them
lights.
send us
He's worried about
Photos.
feeding the 110 to the left.
into
and
stock
it
book.
getting wet.
It's- Well,
She's not worried about the lights.
Because if I go into my car application and I pull up a stock number, the expectation is still the videos and the images, and so the deduplication process would involve getting those photos back into a
I'm
stock
sure they have
folder.
a mechanism to do that, probably a part of their API.
Because I also don't mind having,
I can reach-
Loveland's electrical inspector come by and tell us.
Me and or Steve will
what
reach out to
would
them
work
and get some more
what this
details. And we
sign
got
is.
the cursive
I think it'd be
details
something
that seem
to
pretty
grab Jerry
straightforward.
rigs to try to give us.
I think
all
right
that
now,
thing.
new cars are kind of pushed to the
Sure.
side for us. We're going to concentrate on these.
But I
So
mean,
we
that's
don't want
just initially
that many
saying,
cars to pile up. All of a
Get in
sudden, you
there and
got
look at
300 new cars
away
with photos every 2 months.
the whole way through the left.
If we want, we can keep the conversation going, but it's 11:15. Let's take like a 15-minute break. Be back here at 11:30. We'll go for another 45 minutes, and then we'll break for lunch. Okay. So, I think I got the camera capture resolved.
Great, what was it?
I was finally able to get everything to the local C drive, and your C drive on this right here it's basically a really fast hard drive, and so I think that's going to be what resolves the issue. So I will make sure that before I leave that everything's set up, and we might so that way all this stuff gets recorded to the
So,
C drive correctly.
Do you have to go through on all the computers to do that?
Nope.
Or just
Just
one?
this
and
one. Just this one. Because this is, as long as this one stays as your primary capture one, then I'll set up the Adobe template so that way it does capture to.
So you've got everything set up, so if a change is made here, it'll go out to all the computers.
Yeah, so right now we could go on W drive. If you
On
bring
any
a
of them.
laptop over here,
And it would update.
go to the
on
W
here.
drive and you're going to see this immediately.
So it
Like,
just
you don't have to
updates.
sync, you don't
Yeah.
have to do anything like,
It updates the W drive or anywhere you log in and get to it.
yep, you got it. Let's see here.
So you want us to capture on the C drive, then after we capture it, when you get ready to do and you can do the edit and everything with it through the C drive, and then when you render it out to whatever file it goes into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack, how late after lunch do you think you'll be here?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay. Leslie's wanting to practice on the green screen this afternoon, so I wanted to give her a time frame.
I would say no more than an hour.
So, like, if I told her 2:30, what are you thinking for lunch? An hour?
Yeah.
So 12:30 to 1:30,
Yep.
and then you should be done
3:30.
2:30, 3:30.
Say what?
Okay, so here we have a red card. I don't know why the images are scrunched, but we're not going to worry about that right now because we'll fix that. And but if we also look in here, we've got our video, right? So I know that because it's got type MP4 file, which is an extension for a video file. And then we've got JPEG. And that goes from untitled 10,000 all the way down to 11,989. So basically, in here are 1,989 still images. Okay. What you guys need to do is take several cars and have these 1,200 images, but then go through and say.
Pick the ones we want.
Pick the ones that you want, and
199, 240, or whatever.
Yep, and then go and.
How do can we mark them somehow there, like pin them, or we just need to write down the numbers?
Well, so your numbers are going to be fairly close to each other.
So as 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
As long as your video edit is the same amount of length before you export it. So if everything's 1 minute and 3 frames, then your export process is going to be.
So we need to get this set up to be exactly a 1 minute rotation.
It is 51 seconds. Some change. That's her whole speech.
So you can go over, but if you get your timing.
But what if we rotated around even longer because the green screen speech was longer?
It's still 51 seconds.
Is it, whether you're at 40 seconds or a minute 20, is it going to be the same frames?
Well, so what's going to happen is, let's say it does a full rotation, but then it keeps going. All right, so you're at 1 minute and 20 seconds, but your target time is 51 seconds and 30 and 25 frames. You're just going to go into the editor and you're going to go to 51 seconds, 25 frames, and then you're just going to cut it. And you know that you're the exact same amount of frames on this one as you are on your previous one. But let's say you have too much lead-in time, right? So let's say you hit the record button, but the car doesn't go, like in this example right here, right? So we know that from the time that you hit the start button, there's that fly again. So now we have another cut on the front end, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to delete this. This is where it starts. Same thing. Now that I've made that front end cut, I still know that one rotation is 51 seconds and 25 frames. And
still ends up being the last.
Still going to end up being that last frame, and you're going to have the exact same number of frames that you format.
Okay. So we've got like a 25 photo count window of almost being the same because there's so many.
Yeah, and for the most part, like there's going to be like some, you know, like it might be here on one car, and it might be there on another
All
car.
right, so if
but
I
don't-
said we want 100, 114 will probably be close enough that you're not going to
yeah,
notice
you're
it's
looking
sitting in
for,
a driveway.
you're just looking for like a, you know,
This
You're-
range here.
this range here, but do the comparison so that way you want we have to have programmatically to make it easy for you a specific number that you want.
I'm just saying if it was off just a little bit going around.
But if that specific
should be
number
fine.
is on one car, a frame in front or a frame behind, we're going to be within the margin of error, and the quality and lighting is I just don't think it's going to be significant to the human eye.
Right.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Instead of having 12,000 pictures that we have to go through to pick out which ones we want, couldn't we just take it from the photo steal thing and steal whatever we wanted from it? That's right there in Premiere.
You can, but what's going to eventually happen is that you're going to make your image sequence, and all of these numbers are going to be in here, but there's going to be another, what's called basically a script, and that script is going to go through and delete all of the images that are not necessary to pull out from this. So basically, like your steps, if we were to start over, your steps would be
So we got the video
you're
of the
gonna
car
do
there.
your
Okay.
you've
Got the
done it,
video.
the video popped in, you've made your cuts, you're gonna do Control M.
So what about the green lady? The green screen?
That's different. We're taking the
Okay.
photos of the car.
Okay.
You're gonna run through this process, and
First.
then and then everything's gonna show up in here. The two things at this point are gonna show up: your video, and then all of these images that are gonna always be named Untitled 01
Right.
_1000 through how many?
Okay.
And then there's gonna be a little button, a little program that you'll be able to double click on that RLA is working on that's going to delete everything. So because we're doing an example right here, I'm just gonna take these first 19 photos right here, and I'm gonna get rid of everything else. So this is us simulating that we've double clicked on that program and it's deleted everything. Okay. Yes. So now all that I'm left with.
So if we're picking them out, we need to go in and delete the ones we don't want?
Nope.
No.
You just need to tell me that
The numbers.
the numbers. So you need to go through here once and say, you know what, I want
100, 200, 300, 400, whatever.
Yeah, at the rotation, we went through and like it'll probably be like every 200 frames ish that you'll
You get
get your
every
20
angle.
you'll get your 20-degree angle.
And how many do we need?
And so 18.
18.
shots.
Yep.
Okay.
From that full circle. And it's really 18. Okay. So now we've gone through and we have our 18, 19 photos that we're pulling from the video real fast. You can come in then to Adobe Bridge and Adobe Bridge. I'm going to right click and pin this one to taskbar. Again, this pin to taskbar so that doesn't disappear. All right, so I'm in Adobe Bridge and I need to go to the W drive. And then I need to go to
Adobe Bridge, we never have downloaded that one, I don't. Have we? I haven't been in that one.
It's just like a folder for holds all your files and stuff.
Pictures and videos.
It's just basically a
where
storage.
you would like if you would search.
Bridging.
So it's got, our folders already in there?
Yeah. We got all folders of the whole PC folder.
Okay,
Everything
not
was in the
just,
PC.
not just
Right.
W drive, but
Everything that's in the PC is in there.
893. I don't know the way to do the search in here other than I'm
like
confident that there
top
is
right.
9314.
Yeah, it didn't give me
Oh,
any
it didn't.
partial. Oh, wait. Bridge search current folder.
A9314 2JA.
There you go.
You go up
You
to the
gotta
top
go-
right, Jack, and you got to select the right thing, and then
Right.
Right, no, that's appreciated. Thank you.
And unfortunately, all of them
all right.
the same way.
So, yeah. So,
Trying to get a pick out front, so I volunteered to come back.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to go ahead and select these photos right here. And then you can come up.
Yeah, I think they're a little busy right now. I could get it the other way.
So I've selected the files right here. I'm going to go up to Tools, Batch, Rename. I'm going to clear this out. Care about this. I don't care about this. I care about this right here. Sequence number 1, 1 digit. We're gonna have to change that to 2, but basically it's gonna go through here, and I'm just gonna we're gonna say preserve. No.
You gotta rename it?
I'm gonna create a default here for us, and we'll call it. What do you want to call it?
Mazda.
This is just this is just to save the presets, so all of this, when you come in here next time, you don't have to go through and change it like I did. We're gonna hit rename, boom.
Nice.
And so now we go back into our folder, boom. Everything.
That's the untitled, or that's all of them.
Yep, everything now is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to talk with John so that way we can change the naming scheme so that these, right now, it won't recognize the 0 in front of it. Okay, this MP4 file right here just needs to be renamed to spin.
Okay.
Okay, so now we've got this stock number and these things are renamed correctly. And so just for comparison,
You showed us how to that, split the windows. How did you have all 5 of them showing up?
so if you want to quickly view all of your open programs, you hit Command Tab, and then you can just select what you want to go
Command
to.
tab.
Command Tab.
Excuse me. And how far back, or how old of a computer would that work on then?
Windows 10 is the only one that will do the Command Tab like this. Windows 7, you can do the organization. Windows 7 and later. And so if so I just move this over to half size. Then in Windows 10 it will ask me like, do you want to half size something over here? So I'll say yes, I want that to be half size. And
There are a
now
lot
you
of new
know.
things today.
And knowing is half the battle.
So as of right now, we don't really know exactly how we're going to name each file yet for it to go.
No, the only thing I'm going to do is ask them to change it. So if we look in the My Car example, this example right here has 1, 2, 3. There's no 0 in front of it. But if we,
Over here, you change to them.
yeah, and we'll see that here in a second because, okay, so now we've got our 1, 2, 3, and 10 through 20 are going to be recognized by the program. And then we've got spin and we've got spin. So this is my car example. That's the white car that I showed you earlier. And this is our red vehicle right here. All right, so.
Why does it have the bars on it?
That's probably just a setting that I did a modification on the camera to try and get the capture to work.
Okay.
So I think we'll probably need to do is just see if there's a reset to default on everything on that camera and just build it back out again. Okay, so I want Chrome. I want staging my car McCluskey. The stock number is A93142JA. Seriously? I'm gonna make, no? It's cool, no big deal. View. There are two of them. Are you letting, really? I don't know how that's possible.
There's one IA and one JA, both J.
Actually, Windows does not let you.
I think it's not reading it because the other was single digits.
I think when.
So once we pick out the 18 that we want on a regular basis, the way you have it set up, it'll automatically take those same ones out through doing it to what you're doing.
Yeah, but we won't be 1 through 20. We'll be 1, 200, 199, or whatever the number is. Right? Those numbers would be the actual photo number
Yep.
that we pick, right?
Yep. Chrome.
So when we do our edit, we got to make sure it's matched up exactly the same point each time.
Very
Whatever it's
close.
taken. Yeah.
Because, I mean, you could have 100 clips and you're hardly going to see a move.
Right.
But we got leeway, but we need to be in the general area.
100 clips would be what? The way this is doing would be a little bit over a second and a half.
So maybe 8 inches, a foot. So, I mean, here to here is not going to... It
Yeah.
shouldn't affect too much. But we need to be in that ballpark.
I really don't know what's going on right now.
Okay. Kristen, I'm trying to talk more to warm things up in here a little bit for you, but
Ah.
it's not working.
As Jack would always tell me, did you restart
Yeah,
your
I'm full of hot
computer?
air.
Did it get colder?
Let's get cold.
It's 70.
50 set
Oh,
on
okay.
70. Gotta get some new shoes.
Leslie might come over at between 2:30 and 4:30. So after lunch,
Make sure it's set up.
make sure it's set up.
Maybe if she comes over though, like when she does. For some reason she was getting really irritated yesterday that we were doing other things while she was trying to do it.
Hey, make sure you get a car that has Choco Chino in it.
You
So I wonder
tell
if we
her
should
rule
just-
132, lock it down.
Was it? Yeah. Was it of taking her away, paying attention? I
I
wonder.
think so, yeah. It was like that, and but there's like so much like commotion or whatever. So, I don't, but it's weird because she doesn't ever tell us like when exactly she's coming. So it's like,
We're trying to
In
do
that
3
picture
weeks of
there,
stuff in one day
how hard
yesterday.
would it
Yeah.
be to cut out
I was
that
like,
car?
she's kind of chaotic.
We've been waiting, what, 5 months, and all of a sudden we're
Not
told
hard.
over the weekend, next Friday.
I mean, there's
grand
enough
opening.
contrast.
Oh, shit.
But you get a little bit of blue light in it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it'll be, the top will be blue. Yeah.
Right, okay. We'll just all
But
cheer
I
her
mean,
in and watch
it's
her.
like I hate to do that, you know, and like waste time. I feel like she was really irritated yesterday.
that's it. What's Steph's name?
It's like, they're probably got to be doing multiple things like all the time.
See
Yeah.
her head walk by here in a
Like,
moment.
girl.
Can you put a title on that with text?
They're coming out with another Coming to America.
They
Elizabeth?
want that,
Nice.
They don't, okay.
for
I don't know
this
why,
one, they
but-
want it
Clean
clean
and
and
clear
naked
the new
because you
king.
know, once you put the stock
Eddie
number in,
Murphy's
you
up part?
know
Yeah.
what
It's
you're
good
looking
money.
at that
So,
point.
sorry,
so,
Mark, but do you?
But,
All the different roles.
but everything
be good.
else on all the
Nice.
westsites is going to have
That's
should be
fantastic.
Especially with Kevin
some sort
Hart,
of
so-
watermark.
Eddie Murphy's going to play his father.
Or overlay or
Right.
whatever.
Yep. To,
We're
That's probably
Because it'll
his,
look like
Kevin
that, but
Hart.
then the one that's going to online.cars will have an online.car watermark.
Yep.
Or
His brother,
McCluskey
nephew,
Chevrolet
so-
will have one. McCluskey Automotive, Diesel, freecars.com.
yep.
Do we have that yet?
So now, if we were to take photos from a still camera, do we have any in a folder or something that we can load up? My suggestion will probably be to leave your SD card in there and use the USB cord for the camera and just
Well, let
Plug
me
it.
get the cord and you can
Okay.
show us how that works.
um,
Do we know where that is? Anybody?
You should be able to take the one that's hooked over there to the 360 camera. It would work, I believe.
anybody want a peanut?
Well, I mean,
Princess
do we
Bride,
have
anybody?
those wires somewhere?
We probably do. I don't know offhand where they're at. They might even be in a camera box.
It's alright, I think I have one. Is it a micro USB that
I mean, we got our 2 camera boxes over there, I believe.
No way.
Yes. I want to make sure we got them too. That's the only reason Here's one. That's a little longer too. Perfect. That's out of the box with the camera? That's correct.
and we can even get like if you get like a USB extender just bring it up and around, but
I don't know if the camera's turned on.
okay. Jesus. There. Okay. So, you plug the camera in, and it should show up. It looks like it might be showing up as this USB device. Let's Let's give it a second here to finish loading the driver. Okay, so on this computer, and this is where you're going to have to find it sometimes just using context, because most of the time you're going to plug it in and it's going to show up as the E drive. But if somebody else plugs a USB stick in here for some reason or whatever, it might take the letter. So sometimes it might show up as the F drive or the G drive or whatever's available to it. But basically, like, I look at it and I'm like, okay, so I know my SD card's, 60 gigs. So, okay, great. I double click on it. The other thing I'm looking for is the DCIM folder. This is the most common folder. We would see this if we put the SD card in there regardless. And then I just keep drilling down until I get to my photos. So right now, these look like they're being shot in RAW. I would probably just switch it over to JPEG and call it a day. So I'm just going to go and grab all the JPEGs here. Type.
Let me ask you a question on that, but for the ones we're going to do for the app, is it better to do them in the RAW? Because you got to cut them out. You got to be really...
Yeah, I already changed. Sorry.
I don't know if I have an answer other than I honestly believe that compression is so great in cameras anymore that
that's fine.
I think you're probably okay to just use the JPEG format.
All right, sounds good. You already changed the JPEG?
Okay.
Yeah, I did that last
So
night.
the other one is, but this one needs changed.
No, I changed. This is the one that I changed. Yeah.
So I'm just going to do a Control X, which is cut, because I really just want to take these and put it into my folder over here. Right, and so now I've cleared off the camera card. All right, so same thing. So I want to leave this so that way my camera card, the next time when I unplug it from here, I want my disk empty. So that way I think that will ease confusion of what files, when,
And you don't have
where.
to remember to.
Yeah, you don't have to remember
format.
to do anything. Yep, you don't have to remember to format it, just because again, the name doesn't matter other than I'm going to come back into Adobe Bridge. I have through 20 right here. So at any point I can just come back into Tools, Batch Rename. I'm going to go and I'm going to start at 21, 2 digits, and oops, gotta select these.
So these are the ones we're adding on top.
These are the ones that we're adding on top of the 20. So we're gonna go, I'm actually in the wrong folder now.
And which program is this? The BR?
This is Bridge. Bridge is what will allow you to
Bridge.
rename everything.
So we call these 20, 21, or 22, 23. You're going to rename those too?
Yep, and so I'm just going to select and
That's
Tools,
nice. Switching to
rename.
JPEG.
Yeah, then you just don't have to go through the conversion. We've got,
Change the number.
right now it's at 20, so I'm going to go 21, and obviously we need 2 digits, and rename. There we go. So now we go back into Chrome. Let's refresh. Do it a couple times. And I will go and
Take us a minute to load.
yeah, we might have to give this a few minutes, but for the app to recognize that they're new, I'm being impatient. because the app is actually hosted offsite on an Amazon server.
Oh. I literally thought that was a bug.
Everything you're showing us, that's for the My Car app that they show inside,
Yeah,
not
but
for
I'm
the
just,
website.
yeah, but I'm just showing you. Basically, I go back to this one just to reference that once you rename it, that clock is going down, that it's going to go and be live.
Okay.
But
So it's like tomorrow she could go on this app and see herself walking in front of here live, right?
yeah, no, I was going to put it on that big I-71 screen.
board?
Yeah, just.
I'll drive past
But
it,
I'm
I know
gonna
it's
edit it with, like, you know, so I can highlight the head, you know, as it's going across.
Yeah, let me know when it's up. I'll drive past it.
You go up there and sign it?
Yeah.
The billboard?
So you can
Sign
see
off.
where, you know, obviously we're doing training today, but like where the video just reset, so obviously it's looping, that's where you need to do a little bit more editing to get that loop sequence really solid. But
So
once
it doesn't
you
pause, it just continues.
once you have the 360 captured into this computer, and then this computer would make that big sequence of images and create that spin video. At that point, you can hand it off to someone else to do every step.
Because we haven't
Past
really
that.
gotten into the 360 camera at all. Steve, one of the guys at Red Leonard, had worked with it and said he'd come in and show us. Then at one time, I believe you had said that you had an easier way.
I can show you, yeah, so okay, so I'm gonna go and we've got everything that we need from the camera, so we'll take this off.
So
grab the 360 camera for me.
Is this formatted now, this card?
The only thing you may need to do is go in and see if it's switched over to JPEG in the settings instead of RAW.
You remember how to do that quickly?
Yeah, it should already be
Or
done.
double check it?
Yeah.
This is the double locking mechanism.
Unable to display.
And then we're gonna.
So everything is out there.
You have to format it again.
Wow, some of them. And underneath the shot.
What do you want? Extra fine, or standard? Right now it's on extra fine.
Standard. So what's RAW and JPEG?
It gives you both files.
Yeah, raw.
Okay, that's why we had double
Yeah.
files.
That's what
Okay,
you're-
then
Raw, super good.
what would you say, extra fine or standard?
Standard.
I don't know.
Standard, yeah, standard's gonna be.
That's just
Standard's
your
gonna be
base.
good.
Normal.
I was gonna say standard's gonna be fine, but. Okay, selfie stick / I keep this with me when I'm walking at night, defensive.
So we need to get a
Yeah.
stick?
So this needs the same exact cord.
Okay.
Is that how many different videos are on there? Or is that?
Yeah, so we'll need to clean up the disk because there are a lot of photos. So that's one. Doesn't look. Oh, I may have taken a video. All right, so if we double click on one of the photos, as it is right now, that obviously looks really, really weird, right? And there has to be a program that takes this flat and stitches it together as a sphere. So you're going to load this file into the folder, but you're going to load it like this. Something else will be responsible for stitching it when it goes out to the web page or it goes out to the My Car app.
So we won't ever see it in the way it'll look.
You can view it, and that's not a bad idea, and that's where you'd want to, let's see if we have the...
However, the guy Red Leonard did, he showed us.
So I can definitely show you.
And we can control it too, couldn't we? He can take it back and forth.
I believe so.
Or left to right, right to left.
Yep. So I will show you that.
I
say this only to tell you that when you put it into the folder, it's still going to look
funky
like this unless you open it up inside of an application, and I'll show you the
I mean, we might be comfortable down the road, but at first I'd want to see it before it's sent out. Right, Crunchy? Crunchy. Page Crunchy, Crunchy.
Okay, I'm not seeing. Let's see if it is ABC. So I was able to open up a whole bunch of space on the C drive, so it was at like 8 gigs, and I got it up to close to 50.
Great.
So basically what I did is I went into each one, anybody who'd signed into this, I moved all of their documents from the C drive into the D drive, and then just gave it the same folder name, so that way you're not missing anything. All right. A couple other things that I was able to do. If we go into Adobe Premiere and we hit F5 now, this is now set up on 1080p resolution instead of 1080i resolution, which is, yes.
I'm recording.
And then the thing that was messing us up, if we're in Capture right now, I'm going to go into Settings. This is all set correctly. I'm going to make sure that my documents is selected, and then this can be okay if it's set to none, but right here there's a button that says Abort Capture on Dropped Frames. So as long as that's unchecked, then we're not going to get that stopping action that we were getting. So if we lose a frame, and we probably wouldn't have to, then we're going to be, we'll be okay. It's not going to be detrimental. So now we can go here and if we want to just start, record, and it's going to do its job. Stop, stop, okie dokie, close, and then there's our new file.
Now, if it's say, okay, I didn't like that, I don't want it, can you just delete it? Just delete. Have a highlight and delete.
And if you say, damn, I do want it, you just press Control-Z.
And that brings back the last thing you...
Yeah, so if you right-click on this file right here, inside of Premiere, if you want to delete it, you can just go into...
Clear?
Where is it? It's Reveal and Explore, and it will take you directly to the folder that it's in.
And then right-click,
and then you can right-click
and
delete it. Yeah.
If you delete them out of Premiere there, does that delete it off of C as well? You delete it there?
Yeah, that's a delete right there.
So it's gone off C now?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So the template is also, it really had nothing to do with the local hard drive or the not local hard drive. It had everything to do with that checkbox with aborted frames. So the template file is back into the Z drive. So if we start the process, we go into the Z drive, double click on the template. This opens up. Hit F5, do your capture. Come in, make your cuts. And then Control M. It's going to bring up the export. We really don't care about this page. We're just going to hit Q. This likes to hide down at the bottom when it's loading. There we go. Okay, so these are old ones. Oh, no. I'm going to do this one more time. I just want to make sure I'm not. All right, Control M.
Make sure it's H264.
Yeah, that well.
You got to change that or
For
what?
no, so for ease, I saved it the last time as the JPEG, but for ease of use, it will be easiest to. Okay, so I'll do it one more time just because the process should just be Control M. Let's let it think.
You don't have this thing highlighted.
Yep. So Control M, Q. Adobe Media. If you leave this open too, then you're not going to have this delay that we're dealing with. Okay, so I'm really not sure why it's giving me a duplicate, but I'm going to
Because I think you did
delete the top one, which is the oldest one. All right, so this is just a little bit of a change from what I showed you earlier before, which was to right-click and say duplicate, but I did it incorrectly. So I'm going to go down to JPEG sequence right here. I'm going to grab it, and I'm just going to slide it to the top line. You see where that's highlighted? Now if I let go, then I've got both of them right here.
Cool.
And so I can come in and now I'm going to my W drive, and I'm going to pick
Whatever the tag number is or whatever.
Yep. And then same
For that
thing.
one.
So we're going to say my car example 2. Oh, and I should make sure I'm going into the W drive. And then, again, we don't care about the name at this point. It doesn't matter. So I've got both of these lined up. They're both in the correct folder. I just have to hit play, and I'm getting my images, and I'm getting my video.
Cool. Slide it to the side and pull the next one in.
And then if you want to at this point, you can, slide this down, and you can even go.
We can capture
you can
some more.
delete these here if you want to. It doesn't matter, but you can just come back in here and hit F5. Your next car's up, or you're doing your blue light off run at this point.
So we're doing blue light, blue wall, and clear wall still.
Well, the blue and white was for Keith to see.
Oh.
Well, the white wall will be for the app.
Correct.
And so these folders will go wherever I send it to that folder. That's going to the app.
No, this one wouldn't. Plus, the app's going to be at a lower angle because up too high you can't place a car in the driveway. And
Gotcha. So whenever we take pictures from right here, it's for the app.
Correct. That'll be white.
And so, well, then check this out. Before we send it then like that, I would have to get these pictures into there too, right?
Well, it doesn't matter. You can take your still photos and then go to a different computer and load them into the same folder. And on that computer, you can use Adobe Bridge.
Oh, we can all work at the same time to that.
Yeah, that's what that drive is. It could be open on all the computers.
Okay.
So anywhere, all of the 3 desktops and the 1 laptop have the W drive on them and the Z drive. And so you can literally go take those still photos, and then somebody else can be working on those and doing those edits, and then you can come back and you can take The only thing you want to just be cautious of is that when you do your naming scheme, you want photos 1 through 18, those first 20
Which is
images,
for
to make sure that they're
main
named
website.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever.
Instead of the 0, 1.
Yep.
Was there 2,000 photos per 60, or what?
For the 60, where it was close to around 1,800 frames.
Where do we find them to go in and pick out the exact numbers we want?
So if you come in, we're going to go into the W drive. It's going to be wherever you told it to save. So we told it to save in the image sequence into the folder My Card 2 example, but this would just be replaced with whatever the stock number is. But there's going to be another function that RLA will have that will allow you to basically
Should we wait till Steve gets here to worry about which photos we want then? He'll be here Monday, I believe.
Yeah, you can do
And
that.
see what their setup is.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, roughly about every, I'll put the preview on here. Also got rid of that black line that was up at the top. But yeah, roughly, so we're at 0. We'll go to 200.
Probably what, once every 300? Or
Well, you can play with it a little bit.
360. About 360
We need 20 or 18.
Well, he's saying every 360
frames.
frames. But yeah,
6
you'll
seconds.
just have to
Be less than that.
play with that
360 frames
to
times 10 would be 3,600.
No, I'm sorry. 60 times 6 be 360. So every 6 seconds.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing photo count.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete these. And delete. Thanks for playing. Goodbye. Bye-bye now.
So as I'm scrolling, okay, so as we're scrolling through that, trying to find pics,
Yeah.
I mean, what we do, just pull them out and put them into another folder so
Just literally, you just have to write the numbers down. So I would just say, you know what, we really liked for this shot right here. This is going to maybe be like a range of like 800 to 810, but you know, basically like those are going to be pretty consistent. But
Are
what
those
you
numbers
just,
for us?
you need those numbers because just I would put like 3 or 4 cars through and be like, you know what, every time we hit around JPEG 1173, that looks like our 5th photo, that the car should always be angled that direction, and then they're going to go through and say, okay, the little script that they're going to develop is going to delete anything above and below until it hits that next number that you want.
Photo 0000 is the starting point of the video, correct?
Of the so if you're looking at the clips, it would be this naming scheme will basically start at like it's starting at 11,000.
Well, let's
but
say this
000,
This
yeah.
is the start.
So if we were to look
That-
at this and you look at the number right here, it says 11628. So it would the start would be 11000.
So, I mean, let's say our video started right there.
Okay.
That would be the first
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah,
So
they're in
that's-
sequence.
That's where we need to make sure we start every video in a very similar spot.
Yes.
We don't have one with the back facing to us and we just catch up.
So all the videos be in the same area.
So if we pull them in, if we start them all facing the garage door, we're going to be in that close to where, you know, the first 20 pictures look like it's in the same spot even though it's moving.
Yeah, you're going to be within a
Or do we rotate them to a starting point over here? Because we got that half a second delay for the wheel to get up to speed.
That's probably how it's going to be coming in.
Because, yeah, if we're coming in, that'd be a good...
Especially if you're trying to get it in the middle.
So if I understand correctly, Jack,
Okay,
is on 2 or 3 cars, we decide whatever numbers we like, whatever they are.
Yeah, you're gonna say,
And then we-
all right,
Right, so when it's
1701. That's our
Rotate it.
um,
Other way.
Second, fifth, whatever. thing
yeah.
it is.
Okay, so
gonna go that
so you go here, and then you're like, all right, let's go down another 300, and okay,
Might be
that's
our
our,
starting point.
you know,
Go
that's our
all the
90-degree
right.
rate.
Can't have a marking on the ground.
But basically, for every angle, so those 18
That we kind of line up with.
photos are about every 20 degrees. You want to go find that file that hits it, and that also sort of gives you what you think is going to be like the most crisp.
Okay. Now, once you know what
Shot.
those are,
Yep.
then basically you have in a program that will delete everything else once we JPEG it.
RLA, then once you, yeah, so basically what's going to happen is every time you come in here, that little program that you'll double click on will just go through, and it's going to delete 148, 149, but it's going to keep 150 because that's the number that
Right.
you've said is that shot, and it's going to delete everything else, and then
And that automatically does it once we set it up in that thing to do the
yeah, so
JPEG.
then all that's left is, so you hit that, all that's left then is your
18 photos.
18 photos. So you're going to hit it, and then it's going to look something like, you know, okay, we'll call it
I understand.
right there.
Yeah, I understand
All
what
right,
you're doing. It's just we got to tell you which ones we want,
That's correct.
so that then you can put
Well,
that into the
specifically, you want to tell Steve and RLA because they're working on the,
and then they'll do that.
yeah, but basically it will keep you from having to go through the pain of like,
What we'll have to do, we'll go through by car, and then we'll also go by like truck and SUV to see how the light hits them.
sure.
Now, would you be able to have more than one setting? So let's say, for instance, on this car, shot 20 looks excellent, and every car afterward looks good. But you bring a truck in, and man, it sucks. We need to be actually at 15.
Well,
instead.
your rotation speed is going to be the exact same no matter what the vehicle is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to,
Well, the light's going to hit the vehicle different, is what I'm getting at.
gotcha. So, that's where you're just going to have to find a good medium.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
I mean,
We can live with that.
if you want to,
I understand. Okay, great. I understand that.
so you've got all your images in here, then you're going to go into Bridge, and you're just going to use this. You're going to select the images. You're going to go Tools, Battery Name.
All the images that's in that folder.
Yep.
One at a time you name them, or all of them?
Nope, so you can go and let's go into my car example 2. Why don't you show me? There we go.
It'll organize them for you.
Let's refresh. Okay. So we've got all these images in here. You're just going to left click on your first image that you want to change the name of, and then you're going to hit
Hold
shift.
down, yep, and delete.
And then left click. Now we'll go up to Tools, Battery Name. We want to get rid of all the text in here. I'll show you what happens right now. If we put in, we want to start with 1, and we want it to be 1 digit, and I hit rename,
Can't have more than 9, can you?
then it will do that. So that's why I just need to just tell
I gotta get used to
Swordfish to just make the first one to recognize 01, and that's not a hard thing for them to
Then we don't have to
do.
take
Yep, so you're
01,
gonna
and 022.
sequence number 1, 2 digits, so you can see, and then I'll hit rename, and then You've got your,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
yep.
Up here we got 011, 022.
Well, and that is because this folder has a 1
You got 2 sets up there.
in it already, but so, I mean, if I wanted to, I could come in here and just pick the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and
Or you could just make them single, right? And it would get rid of the.
so you could
01,
come back in
02.
and you could run it through right now and okay, so we've got 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. Let me actually.
That's just deleting.
So that's a legit delete. Okay, so now I've got O's through 6, right? So I could come in here and
I like the first. 6.
highlight these, come back and do battery name, and then
01.
nope,
Or just single.
just 1 and 1 digit, and then now it's just going to rename those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do that twice, and it obviously didn't take more than a few seconds.
But if we do
But if
it
we just-
from the get-go, then we don't have to deal with
If we just have them change it to let the 0 in there, then you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, and then from there, do you do what?
So now everything's named. You want to make sure that your video in here is named spin.mp4. We don't have a name for the 360 photo at this point. But if you now open up, so I just hit Windows tab, and did I close that program? Yep.
Is this part of the step?
This is the program that I started to download before we left for lunch, and it's called Key Mission Utility. I'll at least get this one pinned on this computer here.
When you pin it, it's only pinned per that computer.
Correct, yeah, that's not a setting that transfers.
Didn't think so.
But any icon that you have, whether it's Word or whatever, if you right click on the icon, say pin to taskbar, then that's it. I think our friend might be asleep.
Oh, that's for that camera.
Yep, so if we come in here, then we can click on the latest folder and then click on your 360 image, and you can come take a look at it and see if it's the image you want or not. That would be
That's that first
the one
shot.
that you don't want.
Could you just delete it?
Yeah. But basically you're looking for that one 360 that you like, and then once you have that number, that was a video. So let's say it's DC.13 right here. All right, so we know that it's the 13, so
It's the one we did on there?
no, that's just just a random.
So then you put that
So I'm going to
photo
come
in the file.
into, yep,
To the C drive, just find the
oops.
drive and
So always the DCIM, and then now I'm just kind of following the structure, but yeah, I'm just gonna cut this, I'm gonna go back into web.
So what happened to the one we did in the car?
It
was a
didn't-
video.
It didn't go through.
I think it was a video file.
But now,
oh, you saved it in there or something?
that I did. can also close stuff if it starts getting too ADD for you. Sometimes it does for you.
What's up? All the way in the back where that black lift is to do the underside carry. She was there 15 minutes ago.
Alright, so this was like one of my first tests back in my home office, but
What'd you do?
why is it not?
Dropped and
hell?
dragged and dropped it. And it showed it copying over.
For what?
It was like
Oh,
you
there we
dropped it
go.
into that
All right.
picture.
Both of them came in. It just didn't see the order. All right. But again, so if we look at 002.jpg, that's just that awkward image right there. But if we go back into here, I can switch over to local and go into the W and drill down. But if I clicked on that same file that's in the W drive, I'm going to be able to see it in its 360 view. So it doesn't matter where the file is. This program right here is responsible for turning it into a
So we need to make sure
360
this key
image.
mission's loaded on all our computers.
Yeah, if you want to be able to view the 360
I would want to view it before we
photos,
send it
then
out.
yeah. But then once you have the one that you want, we still need to develop what that name will be, but you would name it.
Yeah, we may think we got a good video and the camera was tilted down by accident, and all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
seeing the floor
You
and
got it.
ceiling.
But we don't have to convert the image. It's done through
Yep, so right here, it's done. There's,
we just have to name it something.
end program is responsible for creating that sphere. You're always going to see that flat.
So,
Image.
just why do you think the one we took didn't come through?
Oh, I don't know. I think I hit the video button instead of the.
Because we really not sure how to work that yet. So that's what I was asking.
So I'm trying. Let's say to get the day started, we come in. Say I'll be over here capturing the videos,
Okay.
and they'll be getting the photos from inside and around the car, and this photo too as well, I guess, huh?
Yeah, should
And
we
the
do that
360,
as
are they still shooting with the regular camera, or are they gonna use the 360 camera?
we are shooting
Both.
interior photos and 360?
And this,
Yeah, and that's just for the app.
and this is
That's
for the-
just for the exterior app.
That's a whole standalone process by itself.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
So
None-
the app needs to be.
None of these
will the
photos
app
go on the
photos go
website
into
nor
this
anything else.
W drive too, Jack? Or is that going to be a?
You know how they were going to put the
Photos.
car in the driveway?
Yeah,
That's what this camera's for.
I mean,
I don't know what RLA's
well, we're not
specs
ready
are
for the
that,
app
but
yet.
but my suggestion is that if it's a image that lines up with the stock number, it should all go into the same stock folder, and we just come up with a naming convention, because then you guys, all you have to do is just go in and batch rename it and be done with it, and then it's the program's responsibility to find that file. But if everything has a different naming convention, then each program will only find what it needs to be able to function. You know, so if
So
you...
there needs to be identity to the stock number for the app photos that the system would understand. So it knows this is the
Yeah.
app photos. Like,
So by it being 01.jpg, the My Car application knows that it needs to grab that photo. The 2-digit also allows the Stockbook application to put that in a list of files that needs to be sent to, not True Images, but vAuto, for it to be able to push out to the website.
So it always need to be in 2-digit. That little setting you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Swordfish change their code so it can just be 01,
Oh, we don't have to
02,
deal
so
with
that
that.
way you don't have to deal with changing it to.
so when
But then let's say you've got your 4 photos that are for the Google Earth application. Then
That'll be 8.
this is, so you got your 8 photos. Let's then, you know, it could just be like GE01, GE02. And if you wanted to go, if we go into bridge right here, so let's say that you have,
Would it be easier just to take those 8 photos and to run a video and then pull them out of the video?
would it be easier for you to take your
Yeah.
still photo, turn it, take your still, turn it? No reason you can't.
You want to have the star effect though.
Do you want a star effect in photos that's going on an app?
No, not the app. No, I'm sorry.
I'm talking the app.
Yeah, okay.
Just them 8 still, or 10 or whatever they are.
Yeah, turn your light off,
And basically, you're
take
looking
your
at
8 still
4
photos.
corners, both profiles, front and back.
Okay. I would. There's no reason to
We
lose
need
the
to talk
time
to
of
Steve more
like,
about that since it's their app. But it just seems like that'd be a lot quicker.
you've got the still camera already, so no, I don't see a reason
Yeah.
unless you know, like you discover that it slows you down. But then the worst thing that happens is you still take a video.
Yeah, I have no problem with it being mounted there because it's always still in the same position. We have no chance of.
We'd have to put it on a tripod anyways. So
Does it have a little remote?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't seen one.
I'm sure we could get one though.
I would just get a remote so that way you're not.
Not pressing.
Yep.
You just.
I'm sure Amazon has one.
Got everything.
How does the system, once, I mean, you got all these files that are empty, and then just because we put something in that file, it then recognizes to pull from?
It only will start to recognize it once it is named correctly.
Okay.
So until that first image says 01.jpg, it's not gonna be sent off to
Anywhere.
Viato. It's not gonna be available in the My Car application. Yeah, it's got to be named correctly before the application will. That's why we can make a blob of files, and as long as they're named correctly, everything will go to the right
Okay.
place.
And there's nothing we have to do to identify
You
every
guys-
photo with that file name?
You literally just have to make sure things are named correctly, and it will be grabbed from the server. And you don't have to, if there's a problem from you naming it correctly and it getting to someplace, the good news is that you get to call and blame somebody else.
Okay.
As long as you
Long we
get it
label
into
correctly.
the correct stock number and get it labeled correctly, then your hands are clean.
So we do all that. Everything's in the correct folder under the stock number. How does the system know that we are done with that car to send it out?
The only thing that it knows is that there is a folder. It's doing a scan of all of the folders on
Yeah, obviously an empty folder probably just
Regular-
jumps right over. But
if it's an empty folder, then there's nothing inside of it that has the correct name for a file, so it's nothing to push out. It's only looking for.
so we could do 2 things today. It'll read it. How many times a day will it see that there's been something in that
Oh,
folder?
that would be a John question, but I think the last time that I talked to him, it was going to be, they were working on getting it from the old version was like a once a day push to like 3 times a day now.
So every
But
8 hours.
I don't know what, yeah.
And then, so let's say we did videos and photos today and it got pushed out at midnight tonight. And we come back in tomorrow morning and we were to add a green screen and 360 photos. Would it push those out then on the next 8-hour feed or whatever?
I'm going to guess that you would want to, so you don't, I would not do your renaming of any of the files until you think that folder is ready to go. Because at that point, you don't have to worry about it. And then the follow-up question is, well, what if we have to change a video or change an image? I don't know if the program will push that out. That would be a John.
Push it out and trump the one that's already there.
Yeah.
Or override
so
it.
that I don't have an answer for. But I can say confidently that it's safest for you to wait to rename all your stuff until you're ready for it to show up someplace.
And I had one more question. The 6 photos that Steve Elder will be doing just to get photos online.
Okay.
Are you aware of that? They currently been
I'm
doing
familiar.
that.
Yeah, they
Just
yeah.
to show, hey, this car's here.
It's the fastest way to get it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
When ours are pushed out, will it automatically delete those 6, or is it going to put them behind them?
Swordfish will take care of that. Sorry.
Because I've seen it. There was a glitch one time. My old company would do these photos, and they would call up and bitch that they weren't done. Yeah, we've already done these cars. Well, you would click through the photos. The photo 7 would be the ones that the third-party company took.
So if somebody is getting on you about that, say, hold on, I've got to get on Swordfish.
So they'll call John.
Yeah. Yeah, once it's in the folder and I don't know what the timing delay is on it getting out to the My Car application or everything else to go through that verification process yet. But once it's in the folder, at that point, it's in the folder and it's named correctly, and
So everything's up to Swordfish once we put it in the folder.
Everything's up to Swordfish once you put it into the folder.
So we just got to make sure we've got good photos, good videos, good 360.
That they're named correctly, and
Anyone have questions on the naming part?
Well, you guys don't have all the names exactly down yet, correct?
right now, for the website and the My Car application, so that's going to be your photos pulled from the video. You're going to have the video, and then you're going to have your individual shots. So any still image, whether it's pulled from the video, from the frames, or it's taken by the camera, that is going to be 01.jpg through whatever.
Okay.
If it's 40, then it's 40. If it's 22, it's 22. The program is just looking for a sequence. And then the video has to be called spin.mp4.
Okay.
And if you have the most important images and videos, at least from my perspective, from the start of this process, are your still images, the framed images that you're going to pull out, and the spin.mp4 video.
Okay.
That feeds to, at least has your 360 video for the website and the My Car application, and all of the photos that would need to go out to any one of the potential 6 websites.
Okay.
And so right now, if those are in there, then you can have all of the websites and functionality function at the base level, and then we're still waiting on some more training from Red Leonard Associates, and to figure out what we need to do to get the other images, the 360 image from the Nikon, the edited images for the web app. But you can, if you just do what we went over today, then things can be pushed out and get going.
So just repetition and getting more we do it, faster we'll get. Green screen. If we come in and do 20 green screens in the morning, can we save those individual ones in that folder too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know how that would be read through Swordfish then.
We just need to come up with a
label
name
system
for it, and then they can push it out. Because the green screen is only going to the websites and maybe YouTube.
We got to then take that green screen into Premiere Pro to put it on the video. Or should we have a separate desktop folder where we put that green screen in with the stock
No,
numbers?
you can put the green screen in with the stock folder
Okay.
number. We're just going to get the W drive up on that laptop. You have one laptop that's just devoted to the projector or the...
Oh,
The
yeah,
type,
it's over
yes.
there.
Is that the one that's also capturing the video from the projector camera that's over there?
Right now, it's only being captured by a card.
Card.
It's being captured. All right, so then...
Is there
so
a way
then
of getting it over here without?
So for this right here, you could get another capture card for the laptop, and then
Want to read each other?
capture it the same way that we're capturing it here.
And go directly into the file.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier than swapping cards out all the time.
Yeah.
Can that be done with the camera
So-
too?
Is that laptop set up to access those drives though? Not the one that Greg had, the gaming laptop, but the other.
No, but it can be.
Okay.
It's not hard.
Okay.
Would you want to do that? I mean, I think that would be a lot easier, wouldn't you?
Could be. Yeah.
The only thing, yeah.
That's something you would
And you
do,
could just
or red
use
letter,
that-
or swordfish, or
Oh, we can get it set up. Let me look on.
Actually, your gaming laptop would probably be the best because it's got the best processing in it.
If you
For a
do
laptop.
that, you won't have a mobile editor.
yeah, we need that one's designed for the teleprompter.
You don't need
For
a
the
lot of
teleprompter, but
horsepower
I'm
to
talking
do the
about capturing the
capturing.
video.
So we could use the one for teleprompter and capture the video on the other one, right? Is that what you're saying?
No. You can use the same one for the teleprompter and the video capture. That's not a problem.
Okay.
But you won't be able to do editing on the one that's doing the teleprompter and capturing.
Right.
So you
Gotcha,
don't
but
need as
all
much
the other
horsepower
computers,
to
we
do
could
the
go
capture, but
into the
yeah.
folder and
Yeah,
okay.
you got it.
So we could just put it into the drive if we don't name it one of those 01 dot whatever, then it won't get pushed out, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So we could just store it in there, and
Sure.
the little skimmer would just skip right over it and it wouldn't care about it.
So we could just use a stock number for those for titles for now, right? And then
I mean, I can find something. I would probably rely on Steve for a recommendation on a HDMI capture device.
Call you shoot with me.
What's that?
I don't have a.
Call you bring that and shoot with me.
I've got 3 of those. I bought one at the.
I don't have one that I
auction
can
for
say
like
like,
$50.
yeah, this one's great.
I paid originally 13 something each for them.
Right here. Something
Oh, but would we be able to?
If you wouldn't mind a 3x4 format.
So if I was
that
doing
you
this,
could
which I'm
stretch out or
assuming that I
something,
probably
I
would need
have
for a little bit,
10 and
Um,
plus 2 you could use.
then
And what's the
we
format?
couldn't capture it in
It's
Premiere.
3x4
because Premiere's
aspect
not on
ratio,
that
not
laptop.
6.
No, you just
not
have to
16
use
by
like
Just use
the
the-
black magic, like.
Okay.
Um,
Is that
but-
on there?
Stretch it out.
why not?
No, but it would come like
It
if
wouldn't
you got
matter.
the same brand.
Okay.
So I get the easiest thing for me to do is
You
to
just use
assume
those,
that you're going to get the
tapes
same
in it. You know, those
Oh.
digital
brand.
tapes.
Okay.
But it's got its
old.
capture program.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
You're going to use that and just capture it directly
I
into
don't
that
even
stock
want to deal with
Perfect.
that.
stock folder, or capture it right onto the laptop and then transfer it into that stock folder.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha.
And then somebody can pick it up from there,
From there
to
and
do
go
the
edit.
editing.
Glad to
Good
get
enough.
off
All
of
right.
that.
Cool.
Me too.
Have I
What?
overwhelmed your brains?
I must have. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have questions.
Sure.
What did he say to do here? Or
You know how to hunt me down.
the videotape will help a lot too.
I need to edit that. It'll take a little while to do that.
I mean, I honestly feel like we might be like overthinking it. You know what I mean? Like I'm
I don't
like,
think it's that
okay,
hard, yeah.
this isn't that
Remember,
crazy.
you're a lot more advanced than us on some of this, but
Yeah, but
I don't feel very confused.
Yeah,
Now it's
no.
a matter of doing it a couple times and like,
Then we'll be
okay.
good.
Right, that's
We'll be
all
good
I
to
need
go.
to
It's
do.
file
is just keep
organization.
going
Yeah.
on it. I'm anxious. really.
Yeah. Right, we got it. I do.
Then we'll figure out how we're going to put the red liner
Capture.
photos in
We'll
with
mess it up.
the file. And that all has to do with a certain name, correct?
yeah,
Once
but
we don't name
the
them-
the process is the same, which is you're gonna take an image, you're gonna edit the image, and then you need to put that image in the correct stock
And
folder.
then Keith come over and,
And
say,
then,
put that blue back wall in there with that light.
then you're gonna sign into your Adobe account and download After Effects and open up a whole new world.
Some of these cars look fine with the blue. Some of them don't look good at all with the blue. And we're trying to get him to
Because he
see
wanted
that.
not only with the blue.
And we had to get cars through the process a little faster. Save one.
Right.
Have we all met Avery Seiler before?
Yeah, how you doing? I'm Joel.
This is Joel. I'm part of our vehicle imaging studio team. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
TJ. Yep.
I know Avery.
I don't think I met you. Liz, nice to meet you.
Yes, Kristen.
I'm Kristen.
You still at Galbraith? So everything that we're doing today, you can use this process today and get stuff out to the web and get stuff out to the My Car application. So if you need to put something up on,
Now, my car is the one
That-
for the customer to look at.
yep.
And that's just a video, no photos, right?
No, that's the video and photos, but it's all pulled into.
Now, what's the loop video Keith needs? I thought that was for the customers to view in the dealership.
Yep. Staging.
I didn't think there was photos with that, where they're just, oh, okay, that's your website with the different clicks on the bottom.
Right.
Okay. And the photos are the site. Okay.
You got it.
From in here, would you put this TV on in the detail area, or that's something else?
I don't know. I guess ask Stephanie. We could turn it on, but I don't know what channel it's on.
Okay, that's fine.
So
No big deal. Thank you.
I don't know if it's HDMI one. We tried the other day for Keith and couldn't get it on.
Okay.
And we can HDMI.
Yeah, it's not one or two.
I think you have to log into it.
Yeah, Stephanie had to go around one day and do them.
Okay.
But if you just you rename it spin, you've got your JPEG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all. It's in the folder. It's named correctly.
Okay.
This is responsible. The Swordfish programming is responsible for making it.
You got all
Go
these set up
to-
yet?
Move that goes around like this. That's,
Yeah, I think so. I got to
I love
rebuild.
that for real.
Looks
What
good,
is
Jack.
close?
Looks really good, Jack. Oh, I'm working.
Good. Yeah.
What's close?
On the iMac, it will
Are
close
these the
the
cars you did
Okay.
today?
program. No, this is the first thing that we shot without
This is one where the stink bug
good
comes up in a minute.
lighting. Yeah, the real one.
Is that the Equinox or Keith's Traverse?
I don't think he had a roof rack, did he?
So none of this is open really yet? It's not up and running really yet?
No,
Looks good, Jack.
not yet.
Am I pissing you off? I'm just
Oh
messing
no,
with
I'm just.
You better be lucky to see where his foot's at.
you.
Oh, I know
You're not
why it's not
recording,
working.
sorry.
I don't have the.
We'll call you Georgette.
Home extensions. iFrame.
It's okay.
Greg Bennett. Hello. To send a message,
Hello.
We got a message.
you have no old messages. For setup option, 4 to access.
What's that one mean?
With McCluskey Chevrolet's 50% off plan, you get full use of the car, even though your payments are cut in half. Now, how is that possible? Well, we take your price today, subtract its future trade-in value,
Who made this?
end up with owing only
This was made
A long time ago.
in like 2012. So it just sort of plays in between on the IMAX when you go into certain zones. So if you are leaning towards a lease, then they can just click on that and play the video and give you an
McCluskey
overview.
Chevrolet's 50% off plan. You get full use of the car, even though your payments are cut in half.
Testing, 1, 2.
I mean, I kind of
Testing.
I hear feedback.
But I think that was a quicker way.
Let's see here. Opener.
I use masking tape.
So,
You Carl, it's cold.
Huh?
You cold?
I'm always cold.
You cold?
all right, so that's our start right there. So we basically want to find, so right now I'm just going to stream along and say, okay, I think that's it. I just hit Control L so that way I can delete the,
Control L?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I think it's Shift that will allow me to make a, nope.
I think it's Shift.
Alt. So if you just hit Alt and drag, it will make that copy for you automatically. And then, so this is my guess, right? But I'm gonna go and just drag this top video so that it's on top, and then I'm expanding this because it is a faster way to see the this line right here represents the percentage of opacity, and so I can just come in here and drop the opacity without having to come up over here.
Right.
So you can get to that by doing right click and then show clip keyframes and then pick the frame that you want. And then you can even like, if you catch a YouTube video, you can even like change the keyframing in here on the fly.
Okay.
All right, but our opacity is down to like 40% on this, and so we're seeing fuzziness. So I know that I need to, I'm just gonna go in as tight as I possibly. So if I hit Alt and scroll, I can change my zoom on the fly.
Okay.
And so I'm just trying to zoom in until I get this down to like seeing a single frame. So now each bump is one frame. And that will make it a little bit easier for me to slide this one frame at a time. And I'm just looking for it to match up so that there's no fuzziness at all.
Oh, we're getting there.
But it's just the same as the bottom clip though.
So as soon as they are exactly the same,
They're getting fuzzier.
fuzzier.
Yep. 3 more. Oh, now it's getting fuzzier. Go back where you were.
So I'm going to pause, but let's say that this is the so I basically want the end of this video
To begin right there.
to line up with the beginning. So I want to keep this part right here. And then it's 5 frames. But once you get rid of the fuzziness, you know where to
Right.
cut it, but I honestly don't know if I'm even.
I got you, man.
Give myself a little extra. So if I come out further, get my endpoint.
It's like you need right in the middle of those two.
Now you need to go to the left some more. I mean to the right.
Oh, sorry.